Minister of Communication, Digital Technology and Innovation, Honorable Sam Nate George, has proposed a policy for individuals to provide their ID cards, national IDs, or driver's license before accessing pornographic sites. This he cites as a bit to protect minors from the dangers of the internet and whatever is going on the internet. You and I both know that sometimes it's too easy to access these sites. If you're on X, sometimes you just chance upon it like that. You don't go searching for it. It comes to you, literally comes to you. So this, he believes, and I think you and I would both agree.
Ghana here, and we're working with going to cabinet on that to make sure that before you access any X-rated site, you must put either your driver's license or your national ID card, so that we know who you are and who is going to that site.
That should be limited to adults, not minors. And if minors have access to these sites, it would be detrimental to their brains, themselves, their health, everything. Not a lot of people always agree with him on certain things, but for this, I think most of us do agree with him. A lot of people are of the notion that there are more pressing needs to focus on, more like we are talking about floods, we are talking about a whole lot, transport system. So that energy that he channels into these stuff, because we saw him leading the anti-gay rights, the anti-gay bill. Yes, and now is this policy that he wants to use to control pornographic watching and the people that access the site. People feel like this same energy, he should channel it into something that will benefit the whole country, like flood, like sanitation, like electricity, like data, the cost of data of late, and how you buy data today and tomorrow is done. So we are just feeling like the same energy, we love it, but please channel it into something that reflects upon all of our pockets, all of our well-being, and not just selective things like people who are actively searching to watch pornography. Moving on to our next story, flood. It came with a lot of tragedy. And at Pantine, a farmer recorded over 1,000 loss of birds. That's literally your entire capital that you've invested in a business gone because of the flood. And how do you recover from this? How do you get back on your feet after such a tragic flood? We talk about all that has lost their capital, lost their source of livelihood, probably lost their passion. Because how do you develop passion for something that took away so much effort, resources, finances? It literally could put him in debt. And this was no fault of it. His only crime was being a farmer, a poultry farmer in this situation. And the flood has taken everything from it. People have been championing for people affected with the floods to be some sort of compensation. But how many people can you compensate at once? And do we even have the resources to compensate such people? If we do have the resources, why are we not using it, channeling it into ways to stop the flood? Yes, if we have the money to give to people who are affected by flood, why are we not just putting it into better gutters, better drainage systems, better policies, implementing policies that arrest or sort of hold citizens or people accountable when they go against the rules, people dumping refuse in the gutters, people who build in waterways. If we have the money to compensate people, why don't we channel it into implementing the laws or enforcing the laws that holds these people accountable, so that we don't even have to deal with the tragedy of floods? It's a sad news that we are hearing, but we hope the relevant authorities will take action and not just treat this as what we always do year in, year out. Oh, the floods are here. Oh, we are concerned. And when it's over, we go back to factory settings and not care. We don't want to see that this year. We want to see action. We want to see implementation, enforcing of laws. Put people into, I believe there are already people into play. Let the people who are supposed to work, Let them work. Let us see their work. And only then would we believe any press conference or anything that you come out to tell us that, oh, you are trying to curb flat, oh, you are doing your best. Only when we see the action being taken will we take you serious. Moving on to our next story. You remember the weekend when we all saw that tweet out of nowhere from Stonebwoy, and saying, oh, they are friends for benefits, friends for time, and friends for convenience. Yeah, Sarkodie in an interview was asked about how he felt about it, and he was like, he doesn't think he was referring to him, Sarkodie and Shatta Wale, because people linked the tweet of Stonebwoy to Sarkodie and Shatta Wale because they were at the Kweku Smoke concert in the UK. So the timing of the two came off as a shade to Sarkodie and Shatta, because we know they've had their moment of late where they don't agree on certain things.
But what are your thoughts about that tweet?
Let me be honest. I always like, because of energy, I always like people to, I would like to hear it come from him and saying that it's you and Shatta Wale I'm talking about. But if he puts out the tweets, maybe the timing and what we did.
And people are going to take, that's what I said to him. I said, no matter what you're talking about, even if you're talking about your own brother in your backyard, people are going to grab that right now.
Listen, I've been there several times where I think
misconstrued.
There was a time that I literally sent one of my boys to get me gari and groundnuts, sugar with milk. That's my favorite food.
Wow.
As a hustler, that put me through life.
Bro, that's every, come on, bro. We call it Casa Flakes where we're from.
Exactly. And I missed it and I sent him to buy that for me. And literally I posted back to Gary Soakins when I was about to eat.
Yeah.
And all the narrative was, I'm talking about the president, this and that. I never came out to debunk it, but if they knew what was happening at that time, and how Ghanaians were like, oh, they are telling us that Namahama is back. I'm like, how does this got to do? I'm literally in the kitchen. So I don't want to play that part where my brother says something.
Because it's happened to you too.
Exactly. So you don't know if that's exactly what he's talking about. If he meets me or he texts me and say, then I will have a way to, speak to him. But I don't want to delve in. And I haven't had no conversation with him to really know exactly, what, he was talking about. So I really don't want to delve into it. But it was a beautiful energy. We don't have to like...
Facts.
Yeah.
100%.
And back to it is over the years, when Ghana has any beautiful moment, there's something that distracted. And I think with this, you might think it's funny, but we need serious prayers.
This winning moment.
No, I'm not trying to be funny.
Sarkodie said he doesn't think Stonebwoy was referring to them. Probably timing. People felt the time that he tweeted it was linked to them. But Sarkodie doesn't think so, and I don't think so either. Probably it was something that was happening in his life. Probably he was tweeting about something that was happening in his life at that moment, and it had nothing to do with the meeting of Sarkodie and Shatta Wale at the Kweku Smoke concert. You and I would always have opinions when these celebrities, when these artists, musicians tweet or post something, but let's not make it so personal. It could be personal for some people, but yeah, let's just relate to them as individuals, because you could tweet something today and people could link it to something that's happening that you have no idea. So we hope that's what happened, and we hope there was no shade, because we all want, you and I, we want the growth of Ghana music. And these are some of the biggest artists in the industry at the moment. We need them to work together to move the industry forward. What would an episode be like without some sports news, especially in this World Cup era? The fever, yes, we've all caught it. So yesterday there were some friendly matches, and Côte d'Ivoire, they beat France by 2-1. And Ahmed Diallo, 89th minute winner, to give Ivory Coast the lead against France. France are termed as one of the favorites of the World Cup, the 2026 World Cup. So this came as a shock to many that Ivory Coast beat them. But hey, you can never know with football. One interesting story that came out of this meeting was the Doué brothers. You remember Desiree Doué plays for PSG and France, and his brother plays for Ivory Coast. They have an Ivorian mother and a French father. So it was interesting, and the cameraman did just justice when Doué scored the goal, and he panned to Desiree Doué on the bench of the France national team. And it was just such a warm moment. And this is what sports is all about, bringing people together, giving us happiness, and giving us something to talk about, stories of impact. So it's not just about the money, the fans, it's also about stories like this. So thank you for sticking and staying with me. Like, share, and subscribe, and come back for another episode of Snippets.